Hey, what's going on, people? JJ Wilson here, and we're gonna move along with the Gangsta Curse series. This will be chapter 11, and man, I have to say this chapter has a lot of deaths. At the very minimum, you're gonna have at least 4 deaths in this one chapter. I mean, we've already had a lot of people die, from the beginning of this story, the Gangsta Curse, but this chapter in particular takes the cake. I mean, just a lot of different people dying here. And to start off, we're going to have the confrontation with Spies and Maverick. In the beginning of this confrontation, Spies actually does not confront Maverick just yet. He actually saves Nero, and he tells him to get out of here and leave. And so Maverick looks back at him and he's asking, why are you letting that guy go? Why are you letting Nero leave? Then Spies asks Maverick, why did you kill those two? He's talking about Helen and Laszlo, the people that he met, and they ended up saving his life from the mercenaries. But later on, Maverick came over there and killed those two after she realized that Spies was in there with him. And then Maverick says she wanted to apologize to Spies because she had told him he was no longer needed and stuff. So she said that was cool of her to say, and she wanted him to come back. But this is the bipolar side of her. This is like the nice side trying to intervene. But of course, Spies doesn't care about that no more. He's tired of killing. And as soon as he said he didn't want to join back with the destroyers, Maverick starts to fight him. He called him an unneeded child. And then Maverick tells Spies that you've been deceived by these monsters that look like humans. And Spies demands Maverick to let those two heads go. And then you see this cold stare Maverick gives Spies, and then they start fighting. Meanwhile, we go to the next fight, and Mini-Me is being affected by the poison that was given to him by Keith during their encounter when they fought. And before Mini-Me could kill the guy, Keith had ended up poisoning him with poison bullets with his hidden gun. So that's what's bothering Mini-Me right now. And Lien and Arnold looking on, and they're seeing what's happening to him. And they're going to try to take advantage of that by continuing to fight Mini-Me. And Arnold is able to, pin Mini-Me down using his foot, taking off his glove. Well, he didn't take it off, but he had pinned it down anyway. And then he knows how Mini-Me got poisoned, and it was by Keith. But you think that phases Roastboy? You think that's going to phase Mini-Me? Not at all. That's right, the whole time that he was smiling at Arnold, he threw one of his knives at Lien and stabbed her right in her chest. And later on with this chapter, man, you're going to see why I call him the Roastboy, Mini-Me. And he's signaling Arnold to come get at him. They're about to fight again. But that was so cool to see right there. So we go to the next scene, and we see Nero, who was let go by Spies. And he's dying. He's losing a lot of blood, as stated by Warwick, who ends up catching him, as he was nearby, him and the handyman, and some of Monroe's guys. And Warwick's trying to figure out where this kid came from and who did this to him and all that stuff. And Nero's struggling to tell him, and he's on his last breath here. And we see our boy, Nicholas Brown, on the rooftop. He's analyzing the situation. And eventually Warwick tells him what to do. He says there's a sword woman in the warehouse district. And then we got a burner that's in the 1st Street district. We need to get rid of those guys first. You got it? And of course Nick said, yeah, roger that. Now we go back to the fight. Now this time it's Arnold versus Mini-Me, one-on-one battle. Eventually Mini-Me does get Arnold, and he burns his face using one of his gloves, his fire gloves. That's why I call him Roastboy, man. He'll roast you. Yeah, that was great artwork here. And then he has Arnold pinned to the ground, and he's stabbing him profusely with the knife of Lien. And he's doing it several times on his chest. And we see Mini-Me, he's not even... it looks like he's in another world right now, because now he's remembering the past once again. And he's telling himself, I gotta keep killing, I gotta keep killing, I gotta get this money. Yeah, this is why I call him Roastboy. He is the roast man. He's the paper chaser. He's got to do what he has to do for his mom, who I believe he thinks he's still alive. That's what gets me. Is his mother still alive? Is he doing all this so he can, help his mom out, or at least he thinks so, or is she already dead? That's something that has me wondering about, this latest scene here. And surprise, surprise, we have Lien getting back up on her feet, and she tackles Minimi, and then she tells Arnold to stab her and him at the same time, so she's sacrificing herself. And Arnold does just that. He ends up stabbing Lien right through her back and her abdomen. And it also gets Minimi, and they both collapse on the ground. Well, actually, Lien gets caught by Arnold. Arnold catches Lien, and she's pretty much about to die. And she says, "I'm sorry, I was a hindrance to you." And Arnold's like, "No, not at all." And she ends up dying. Arnold kisses her hair because, her blood is covered in, her mouth is covered in blood. And quickly we cut to Beretta here. She's just now starting to wake up from resting and whatnot. And now we see Howell carrying Child's dead body. And we see a couple of mercenary guild members come over there, and they see them walking by. They're heading back for Monroe's estate. And so they're helping them out. And of course Howell's telling the guys to beware of Stryker. But it's too late. Stryker kills both the mercenaries. All he did was throw his tonfas at their heads, and they were dead just like that. But Howell's pissed off, and he tries to attack Stryker again, but nope, that didn't work. Stryker crushes this dude, man. He took his whole hand and blasted a hole through this dude's chest. And before Howell dies, he says, "My apologies, Representative." He's talking about Daniel Moreau. And Stryker's like, "Yeah, I'll let him know. I let him know that I found you. And thanks for showing me the way." Because with this scene here, with Stryker's back turned, we can see Monroe's estate above the streets right there. And by the end of the chapter, we see Minimi's old knife, and he actually picked it up, and he stabbed Arnold in the back, and he's dead now. And yes, Minimi did survive that stab wound that Arnold tried to give him while he stabbed Lien at the same time. And so yeah, Roastboy's back on his feet, and he lived on. And that's the end of chapter 11. So now, in chapter 12 coming up, you're going to see the rest of the fight between Spies and Maverick. And I believe it is the conclusion of that fight as well, so definitely stay tuned for that. Like I said, this chapter was really gory, and it was also a lot of deaths, as I stated. So keep it locked right here, and I'll be back for chapter 12.